Hey guys, thank you for tuning into my channel. We're getting ready for week number 17 and our NFL predictions as well as touchdown parlays. Before we get started, let me just wish everyone out there Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and a safe one at that. And before we even get to our picks and touchdown parlays, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button and leave your comments below. Even hit the like button, please. I need viewers and I need to be in front of your face throughout the remainder of the season, as well as the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Anyway, let's get going. We have a lot to cover. And the first things that we're going to do is the Christmas Day games, and that's Thursday. Merry Christmas to all. But to these teams, it won't be a good Christmas because they've both been eliminated. We have the Cowboys heading towards Washington. That's right. The Dallas Cowboys will be minus 5.5 favorites, and we're going to roll that way with that. We're going to money line the Cowboys. We're going to take the over 50.5. I think both teams are going to play loose. They know they're eliminated. They're just going to be throwing the ball around, running the ball. All types of stuff is going to happen in this game. But I just think the Cowboys are more talented. I think the Washington Commanders, with all the injuries, I think their season was done even before it got started back in, what was it, week early in the season when Jaden Daniels went out. That was the end of their season. So they're just playing out the remaining 2 weeks. Go with the Cowboys, money line them, get touchdowns from Pickens as well as Javonte Williams. For the Commanders, well, maybe Ja'Cory Merritt, or like he likes to be called, Bill or Chris Rodriguez in the end zone. Take the over of 50.5 and take that minus 5.5. All right. Let's move on from that game. We got the Detroit Lions coming off a disappointing loss against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they'll be traveling to the Minnesota Vikings, guys. This is a game. The Lions are desperate. They were desperate last week. It didn't work out for them. I didn't understand that game plan at all. When you got Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery, you should be able to run the ball successfully against a run defense like the Steelers. They didn't get it done. Now they got to head to another tough defensive opponent in the Minnesota Vikings. They will be bringing it. They want to spoil the Lions. I'm looking for this game to be close. I could easily take that plus 5.5. But I think, in fact, you know what? Let's take that plus 5.5. Okay. I was going to take the minus 5.5 because I felt like Detroit's going to really lay it on the Vikings. I'm really not trusting J.J. McCarthy at the quarterback position at the moment, but they did win against the Giants. Look for the Detroit Lions. Let's money line them. Let's get touchdowns from Jameer Gibbs, David Montgomery, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Let's go with the over of 44.5. And let's take that plus 5.5. It's a division game, and it's going to be up at Minnesota. I think the Vikings want to do some spoiling. So that's where we stand. Touchdowns, maybe. If I haven't seen Justin Jefferson in the end zone for a while, J.J. McCarthy and Jefferson need to get that connection going. So maybe Justin Jefferson, look for T.J. Hawkinson, and maybe Aaron Jones to get in the end zone. Let's go to the next and the final game of Christmas. That'll be the Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs. What a disappointment season for the Kansas City Chiefs. And then, of course, the major injury to Patrick Mahomes, as well as his backup Gardner Minshew. We're left with their backup quarterback, Chris Olakondon. I believe that's his name. Olakondon, I believe is his name. So that's at a disadvantage for the Kansas City Chiefs. They're just playing out the string. This is a season that, well, they were catching up in age as well as being in the playoffs for the last, 8 years, 6 years, 8 years, whatever it was. They're a tired football team. Look for the Denver Broncos after their disappointing loss to the Jaguars to rebound. Money line the Broncos. The over and under, I think it'll be under 37.5, being that the quarterback for the Chiefs is their third stringer. And also, let's take that plus 12.5. I think it'll be closer than you think. I think defensively, the Broncos will keep the Chiefs out of the end zone, maybe for just one score. But I also think the Chiefs are going to try to spoil the Broncos, try to take away their number one seeding. Look for touchdowns from R.J. Harvey, maybe Cortland Sutton. If not, go for the Evan Ingram at tight end. Look for the Chiefs, maybe Kareem Hunt Isaiah Pacheco. Other than that, this is going to be Broncos all the way through. Take the money line of Broncos, take the over and under of over 37.5, and take that plus 12.5 division game. I think the Chiefs will at least put up a fight on the final game of Christmas. Let's move on to the Saturday game. Okay. We got the Texans at the Chargers. Okay. This is a tough one. It's going to be under the tough bet. I like the Chargers in this game, coming off an impressive victory against the Dallas Cowboys on the road. I'm a money line of Chargers. I'm going to take the over of 39.5. I think the minus 1.5 being at I believe the Chargers are the favorite in this game. Yes, they are. They are the favorite. We're going to take that minus 1.5. It was kind of a tough decision because defenses do travel well, and the Houston Texans, man, they got a defense that they're capable of going into the playoffs and maybe taking it all the way if they had a better offense. And that's the only reason I'm taking the Chargers. I think CJ's going to struggle a bit. This is a better defense. LA Chargers are better at defense this year than they were a year ago. I think they show what they can do against a high-powered offense like Dallas last week. So I think they're going to hold down that fort this weekend. I've taken the Chargers. I'm gonna get touchdowns from probably usually in a tough defensive game. Look for guys like Lad McConkey. Look for not so much the running backs like Omarion Hampton, maybe, but maybe I'm gonna go with the Oronde Gatson at tight end. Look for touchdowns from those guys. And for the Houston Texans, it's always the same suspects: Nico Collins or maybe Nick Chubb or Woody Marks. I think Woody Marks got injured this past week and don't know his status, but maybe Nick Chubb can get a touchdown there. But anyway, that's how we're going with this football game. Let's go to the other game, and that would be the Ravens at the Packers. Disappointing loss against the New England Patriots, the Ravens. I don't know if Lamar Jackson is playing in this game, but this is a team that just doesn't know how to utilize Derrick Henry. So we're going to go with the Packers in this game. Okay, it's at home. Packers coming off a disappointing loss themselves against the Chicago Bears. Look for the Green Bay Packers money line it for the win. Look for the over and under to be over 41.5. I think the Ravens have enough talent on their side to get some points there. No Mika Parsons is going to hurt this team. Look for that minus 2.5. I think the Packers should win probably by a touchdown or so. But I think it's safe to take that minus 2.5. Look for touchdowns from Josh Jacobs and Derrick Henry. I think those would be the only two guys I would touch in this game. Moving forward, let's now go to, let's see. Oh, interesting game. And you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Battle of Florida, going to the Miami Dolphins. Well, we're going to take the Buccaneers. We're going to money line it. I think they'll rebound from a tough loss against the Panthers. We're going to take the under 45.5. I just think most of the points will come from Tampa. And we're going to take that minus 5.5. I think Buccaneers will cover that. I think the Dolphins are just playing out the string at this point, seeing what they can see out of Quinn Ewers. Touchdowns from Devon A-Chain. Let's take Bucky Irving with Tampa Bay. Maybe Mike Evans there. And any of the receivers actually from the Buccaneers. Sean Tucker, Bucky Irving, or Rashad White are good touchdown picks for me. And just Devon A-Chain for Miami. Let's move on from that game. Okay, the next game we have the Patriots going to the Jets. I don't want to waste too much time here. Let's take touchdowns from Trevion Henderson or Ramondre Stevenson. I think the Patriots are going to keep this game on the ground. They don't want to get their quarterback hurt. They don't want to be throwing the ball around against this Jets depleted defense. If you had to take a touchdown from the Jets, it would be Breece Hall or Isaiah Davis, one of the two. Money line the Patriots. Take the under 42.5. We're going to go under 42.5. I think most of the points yet again from the Patriots, and we're going to take that minus 12.5. They should be able to run away with this game. All right, let's move on. We got a good matchup, division rivals between the Steelers and the Browns. I don't know the status of DK. There's a good chance that DK Metcalf, after taking a swing at that Detroit fan, may not play this game, might be suspended. We don't know the status yet. It is Monday afternoon. But we're going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to money line it. We're going to take the over of 34.5. I think the Browns are capable of getting some points against the Steelers team. Watch for Myles Garrett to get that record sack in this game. Pretty sure he'll get it out of the way early in the game. Look for the plus 4.5. I'm going to take the plus 4.5. I think division rival. I think the Browns will keep this close. Touchdowns from the Steelers. No DK, so don't even bother with him. I'm looking at maybe one of the tight ends, Pat Fryermuth, maybe Jalen Warren again. And for the Cleveland Browns, it all depends how Shador plays, right? If he's going to throw a touchdown, it could be that tight end that I really love from the Cleveland Browns, Harold Fanini. If not him, maybe you can go with one of the running backs, maybe Dylan Sampson or something like that. But it's going to be a low-scoring game, but it's still going to go over that 34.5. So let's money line the Steelers, the over 34.5 and the plus 4.5. Let's move on to Indianapolis, and that's going to be another good game. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Depending on how the Colts do tonight on Monday Night Football, whether they win or lose, I believe the Colts are going to come to play. So I'm going to ride with the Colts for an upset here. At one point this team was 7-1, and then the bottom fell out. So the injury to Daniel Jones was significant. They got away from Jonathan Taylor for quite some time, and what I mean by that is this guy has not been in the end zone as much as he was doing early in the season. Look for the Colts. I'm a money line this game because I think the Jaguars are coming off a big high, beating Denver to prove to everyone that they're for real. I don't think Trevor could do it back to back though. I think the Jaguars is going to come in here to get this victory, but I think Indianapolis is going to throw a wrench in that. I think they're going to win this game. Money line the Colts. I'm going to take the over 46.5. There will be points in this game. Look for Jonathan Taylor for touchdowns and Tyler Warren. But more importantly, look for Jonathan Taylor for over 100 yards in this game. The spread is at plus 6.5. And that's where I'm going to go with the plus 6.5. I think the Colts, being the underdog, they'll win this game. If they don't, that plus 6.5 looks really good for you guys to take. All right, let's move on now. Let's go now to the Saints at the Titans. Really not much to talk about. Chris Olave has a touchdown in this game. For the Titans, look for maybe Tony Pollard or maybe Tajay Spears in this game. I'm not going to really go crazy with this touchdowns in this game. I don't think you're going to get too many anyway, but you never know. It could be a high-scoring game, right? You could easily take the over, but we're going to money line the Saints, and then we're going to take the under of 38.5, and then we're going to go with that -3. So that's how I stand about this game. Let's move on to the next one. We have the high-flying Seattle Seahawks with that tremendous comeback against the Rams. And do I see a letdown game here? I mean, they are going to the Carolina Panthers, the Jekyll and Hyde of the NFL. Great victory for the Panthers against the Buccaneers, but I think they're going to come back down to earth. This will open the door again for the Buccaneers to get back in for that division. I like the Seattle Seahawks in this one. I'm going to money line the Seahawks, okay? And I'm also going to take this was tough, but I'm going to take the over 42.5. Both these teams got good defenses. I'm not so sure about that offense for that offense for Carolina. And we're going to take the plus 7.5. I think Carolina could keep it close, but at the end, it's going to be the Seattle Seahawks. Touchdowns from Zach Charbonnet, maybe Jackson Smith-Njigba. Maybe he gets into the end zone this weekend. Look for maybe Rico Dowdle to get back into that end zone. All right, let's move on to the New York Giants. Is it? Yeah, no, it's the Arizona Cardinals heading to the Cincinnati Bengals. Disappointing seasons for both these teams. I was expecting a 9-win season from Arizona. It didn't happen. I was also expecting a 9-win season from Cincinnati, and it didn't happen. However, going into this game, Cincinnati with Joe Burrow and his weapons, they're hard to beat. You saw it last week. That's why I was surprised the weekend before when they got shut out by the Ravens. Didn't understand that one. But they did blow out the Miami Dolphins. Chase Brown coming off a tremendous game. Look for him again to get in the end zone. Look for Jamar Chase to get in the end zone. Um, I just don't see how the Arizona Cardinals are going to stop this offense. They're on fire, Cincinnati. Arizona, Jacoby Brissett continues to be the quarterback. I think Kyler Murray won't be back next year. I just don't see that happening. If he is, it's because of contracts. I just don't see this guy coming back. Trey McBride getting into the end zone for this football team. If not him, look for Michael Carter or maybe Michael Wilson getting in the end zone. But we're going to money line the Bengals. We're going to take the over 52.5. Most of the points coming from the Bengals. And boy, you know what? Being that these two teams really not having the best of seasons, look for a +7 out of this. So let's move on. Let's now go to the New York Giants at the Raiders. I don't know who's tuning in for this game. Battle for the second draft pick or something like that. I don't know what's going on with the Raiders. Another disappointing team. If I had to get a touchdown from them, it's going to be Brock Bowers. Although Ashton GNT is looking like the guy that's starting to wake up, but too late in the season for that. As for the Giants, look for Wan'Dale Robinson and maybe Tyrone Tracy or Devin Singletary. We're going to money line the Giants, okay? We're going to money line the Giants. We're going to take the under 42.5. I don't know where. I mean, who's really going to tune into this game? And then we're going to take the -1.5, being that the Giants are the favorites. Okay. Let's move on to a good game this Sunday. We have the Philadelphia Eagles heading to the Buffalo Bills. Is it a preview of the Super Bowl? Before the season started, I sure had this game like a preview to the Super Bowl. But since then, the Eagles are kind of becoming a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde with that offense, right? They blow out the Raiders. They've been struggling on offense. Saquon is not the same Saquon from a year ago. It could just be the offensive play calling that's pulling this team back. But still, you have to respect the Eagles. They're the defending champs. They're on the road. This is going to be a great game, probably the best one this weekend. But surprisingly, even though it's at Buffalo, it's hard to take them as a favorite. But Vegas did put them as the favorite. They're trying to even out the money. Let's money line the Buffalo Bills. Let's take the over 45.5. I think both these defenses, the Eagles, might be coming around now. The Buffalo Bills defense is what worries me. They're not playing lights out, but they're getting the job done. They're a bend and don't break defense. They struggled a bit against Cleveland, so that was something to look for. If I had to get touchdowns, I'm gonna stick with Saquon Barkley for the Eagles and AJ Brown. Maybe a tush push from Jalen Hurts. Same with the Buffalo Bills, a tush push from Josh Allen. Let's stick with James Cook. Those would be my two guys for Buffalo to get in the end zone. But we're going to money line the Bills. We're going to take the over 45.5. And we're going to go with the -2.5, okay? Bills are the favorite. That's just for Vegas to even out the money. But look for a great game in this one. All right, the next one we have, the Chicago Bears at the San Francisco 49ers. Could be a preview of a playoff game or whatnot, maybe the championship game or whatnot. Whatever it is, one of these teams are going to have to pull this victory out to either win the division, to try to win the division, or to stay ahead as a number one seed or whatnot. For the 49ers, it's simple. Win this game, get that edge over the Bears in case it has to go to the championship game. You have an opportunity to have that game at home. They are the favorites for this game, but not by much. Only 2.5. So I'm a money line the 49ers. I'm going to take the under 50.5. Wow, I don't know why Vegas chose to go 50.5. It's not like these offenses are burning up the fields. And I'm going to take that -2.5, being that the 49ers are the favorite. Look for Christian McCaffrey or Jawan Jennings or George Kittle to get in the end zone. Same with the Bears. You're going to go with probably Kyle Monange or DeAndre Swift. DJ Moore is waking up, playing a whole lot better. Don't know the status of Roman Odunze, so stay away from him. Don't know the status of Luther Burden. Stay away from him. Just stick with the running backs for your touchdown parlays. So take the 49ers. We're going to money line it. We're going to go with the under 50.5, and we're going to take that -2.5, being that the 49ers are the favorites. Okay, and the final game, Monday night, should be a walk in the park for the Rams against the Falcons. Falcons, another Jekyll and Hyde type of team. Disappointing season. Rams somewhat disappointed in losing that game to Seattle. Possibly lost not just the one seed, but maybe the division title. But look for the Rams to rebound. We're going to money line the Rams. We're going to take the under 49.5. I thought that was a bit too high, considering that the Falcons every now and then struggle on offense. Kirk Cousins being that quarterback. He does get the ball around to his receivers, something that Michael Penix wasn't doing. He kept favoring Drake London. London is back, but not the same Drake London that we had early in the season due to injuries. Take the Rams money line it, take the under 49.5, and then take that plus 8.5. Guys, touchdowns, maybe Bajan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Tyler Algier. And then for the Rams, you could pick Kyron Williams. Puka Nacua had a monster game against Seattle. Don't know how they lost that game. Devontae might be back. If not, stick with Puka. Those would be my touchdown guys. Maybe Blake Corum or whatnot. But there you have it, folks. That's week number 17 straight up in front of you. Now I'm going to show you my whiteboard. So hold on one second. Okay, guys, there you have it. Those are the first games that we're going to put up on the whiteboard for week number 17. I already told you who's going to get in the end zone during these games. All right, there you go. Obviously, you know that who the tough bets are. All right, let's go to the other side. Okay, guys, here we go with the other side of the whiteboard. There you have it. Those are the games we're rolling with. I already told you the touchdown parlays for these games, who to take. And hopefully it all ends good for you guys and make money this week. Okay, guys, there you have it. That was my whiteboard. That's who I'm rolling with this weekend for week number 17. Well, it's been, like I said, strange season, right? I did not see that upset coming between the Steelers and the Lions. Crazy ending in that game. Didn't see the upset with the Jaguars coming over the Denver Broncos. Although those two games featured four good teams against each other, I really thought that the Jaguars going into Denver and really playing the game they did was really eye opener. And I think people are going to have to start taking the Jacksonville Jaguars a lot more seriously. Although I have them to lose this weekend, it's only because sometimes I feel like when you come off a great victory like that, you have this high and you totally forget who the next opponent is in front of you and you go back to a low. Like I think they're going to ride this high all week, Jacksonville, and then just go to Indianapolis and really fuck that game up and really fuck up your sporting your sports betting this weekend, right? Same with the Steelers. Could they be not? I'm pretty sure they're not going to have DK Metcalf for this game. I'm pretty sure he's getting suspended for what happened. But the crazy ending in Detroit, the upset, they're going to ride that high, and then probably towards Thursday or Friday, they're going to realize, hey, we got a matchup this weekend against a division rival in Cleveland, and they got Myles Garrett. They got an exciting rookie in Shador Sanders. This could be one of those games that missing DK Metcalf could be a difference. This could be a closer game than it should, and it could be upset city here. So be careful where you throw your money at. But other than that, guys, have a safe Merry Christmas and all, safe holidays, happy travels. Um, Yet again, hit that like and subscribe button for me and hit the like button too and leave your comments below. Need all your viewership, okay? I want to hear from you guys. Like I said, I give you the Zedge for free. I do all the work for you from the laptop. I get all this information and then I try to post it as early as I can. I know I'm competing with other YouTubers out there that probably have a better way of showing who they're going with and whatnot. The graphics are better and stuff. But I'm just an amateur sports bettor. I'm not a professional. I'm trying to win big by betting small, and I'm trying to teach you guys that by betting small, you can win big every weekend. There are videos out there that can teach you how to sports bet and stuff like that. I'm just an amateur. I do go to casinos a lot. I play table games, slot machines, but I love my sports betting. It's where I make my change to help me out with bills and stuff. So I think that you guys can do the same. Anyway, have a wonderful Merry Christmas. Seriously, have a safe and happy holidays. And I'll see you next weekend. Good luck this weekend. I'm Casino Pete. Thank you for tuning in. Good luck this weekend.